I think I need a definitive loadouts video where that's the only thing that happens in the video. It's 2017, so why not make one for 2017 at least? So I'll be sharing my current thoughts about my loadouts and showing them off, of course. And I think that's it. So let's get started. So we are just gonna take them also in order of what class I like the most. So we're gonna be starting with engineer. I may leave some time notes if you want to skip to a certain class. So just that, and let's get started. So here we have my engineer. We like the thing that I like to do with engineer is using this loadout either with the frontier or with the widowmaker. And the frontier is more defensive oriented weapon where it's like, yeah, I know I'll be having to rely on my level 3 for a bit, and if it goes down I'll have a lot of crits stored up that I can use while rebuilding, and then of course defending myself while I rebuild. Now the widowmaker is more like, okay, I'm just gonna run probably only disposable level 1s, maybe upgrade it to level 2 if it's doing well, but I'm just gonna be aggressive. I'm gonna be playing as if I had the gunsling on, but I don't have the gunsling on, basically. So yeah, that's about it. We pistol favorite weapon in the game. I think it's very reliable. That it's actually funny because before they nerfed the Wrangler, like in the sense that if you Wrangle a sentry, it doesn't regen as much health. It's like it's also affected by the same like it takes reduced damage, but it also takes the same amount of reduced healing in a sense. So before that, it's like I actually played the rescue ranger Wrangler engineer, but I'm so happy kind of that they nerfed the engineer in that sense, because now I can run with the pistol, and I really like that playstyle and the kind of playstyle I'm playing engineer with usually. So this is my pistol, probably my favorite weapon to use in the game, even though I mean it's a secondary and such, and it is certainly my favorite item in the game. So yeah, then we've got my trusty wrench here, so really happy for this too. The jack would honestly be better the way I play, but the jack doesn't have an unusual effect, so fuck that. And here we have my well sentry dispenser basically. Felt like calling that again, referring to the portable level ones or mini sentries that I would prefer to use, but yeah, just the kind of playstyle I'm using, of course, that I plan a lot of sentries. Then we have my dragon hoodie here, and the thing is, if this wasn't called the prehistoric pulo referring to a dinosaur, as in the original name, and were called dragon hoodie, nobody would argue, but I just felt like, hey, reptile, dinosaur, dragon on a hoodie, what's the difference? It's not like, tail and wings can be seen from the hoodie, right? So felt like that fit there, just me of course, and then referring to the effect of course with the omnius at the start, so, and then also my description on it. Then this item, I'm using this on 5 of my classes, and we're gonna go over it on the other classes as well, because it has some certain thing there. Also, it's called Essence of Darkness. All my smoking items refer to this item in their description, and then usually ends with like off darkness, have something, and then off darkness, referring to that the smoke cloud is actually like a cloud of darkness, as in you're a bit shrouded in the shadows or something, a bit like if you see in a comic sometimes where you don't really see the face or something. That's the kind of logic I'll be using for that, but it's more like you're covered in like the shadow or the darkness or something, right? I felt that's what smoking is kind of to me, and it's only black effect, and black is my favorite. I won't call it color because it's not a color, but let's say it were a color for a bit there, then out of all the other colors this would be my favorite. So I don't actually have a favorite color, but I like black the most in that sense. Then we have, and this is something I use on all my classes, I have, except the sniper where it's actually a headpiece, but on all my classes I have, well, a shirt or something, like body armor or whatever you would call it, and then it's strange to like keep an overall stat tracking going or something, or just keeping track of my stats with my class and such, so I like to have that. Then we have my battery canteen here. Currently you cannot add parts to it, but I hope they allow that at some point, so I basically have a global tracker of kills and assists if they allow cosmetic parts on it, of course. They may allow parts, but then it's only, non-cosmetics, and I'll probably be adding buildings and something else to it, I don't know, damage dealt in buildings probably, I don't know. Here we have my gunslinger loadout with, of course, my Widowmaker. That's just standard on this loadout. I don't really use it that much, but I may start using it every now and then just so people can compare how I play with the gunslinger and with the normal wrench and see what what the advantage is in both playing with disposable level 1s and what the advantage is by having the 24x or 25 extra HP. So that would be interesting. And here we of course have the gunslinger, so you can have a look. Doomslinger, of course, because it used to, you know, spread doom, everybody complain and stuff like that. But now it's actually pretty bad in my opinion, as in the mini sentries. They used to be very, very good. Very, very good and very annoying. But now they're just bad actually. Just gonna leave it at that. And then we have my stock loadout here. Just this is a weapon that I haven't been shown there. This is I'm gonna replace this when there gets to be a black shotgun or something that can be unusual, strange. I'll be aiming for that, and I'll try and get one of those with hot, and then I'll just transfer stats and have that for my, well, multi-purpose shotgun. I'm probably gonna give it another name, because I would be able to use it on, for example, if I ever do Fat Scout Heavy or something, where I would be using this for now, but, you know, just an example there. Then we have, and this is where one of the funny exceptions with the infused with the Essence of Darkness, where it's like Light of Darkness, and then I add it on because it's like, how can it be like get me right here? If it's darkness, how can it be light? Like if you, it's kind of contradiction in that sense. It's not like supposed to be yin and yang, but you can take it as that too. But it's more like contradiction, and then it's like, wait, that doesn't make sense. If it's completely dark, how can it be light? And if it's it's like, yeah, it doesn't go well, right? That's the point in that. And then we have the reorbiting fire here, where it's like, of course, here in the loadout you can't see both effects. It's something when you have two cosmetics that's the same, that have no equip region, you only see one of the effects. But it's called Grandpa's Mining Helm, and then it's supposed to refer to that it's haunted, and it's like a relic or something you've gotten from your grandpa or something. And then sometimes I can still hear his voice, again referring to it being haunted with the reorbiting fire. And this is just my man vs machine loadout. Actually, this is fun. This is the thing that I did with the Rescue Ranger, because I've heard other people complain how hard it is usually to kill people with the Rescue Ranger, and I'm like, oh, this thing is actually good at killing people. It's like a huntsman, but worse. It can't headshot, but it's still, you know, it still does damage, and it's like you can do long range damage, and that was the advantage with it. And this is mostly if I were to play man versus machine seriously. Then of course I'd probably play engineer every time, because this is probably the only thing where I have like robots destroyed on or something. So I'll be using that. I do have a wrench, technically speaking, but it only counts like if you kill a spy. It doesn't count your sentry robot kills destroyed thingy. So nah, not worth it. Not sure if it would actually count if you added the robots destroyed to a cosmetic, but I doubt it, because sentry have like something specific, like this kills here doesn't count on your sentry. If your sentry kills something, doesn't count up on the kills. This have to be like gun kills with like your shotgun or pistol or wrench or other form of things. But that's the thing with that, because it's classified like whenever your sentry get an assist, you get an assist too, and it counts here. But whenever it gets a kill, it's counted as a sentry kill. And that's where you have the PDA here, where it's like sentry kills. So here we have the spy using mostly like a form of stock here, where it's like actually 3 of them are stock, and I consider this a stock because for me this is straight upgrade from the stock one, in terms of you can actually be in this at all times. It just feels way better in my opinion. Just feels like that's how you're supposed to play spy. Probably need to get better with the Deadwinger at some point though, but I used to use the Deadwinger a lot, but yeah, I went away from it. Again, it's a bit the same way where I went away from the gunslinger with the engineer. It's because people tend to complain a lot about them, and then I'm like, you know what, I can be good without you complaining, and you don't need to complain about, oh, you're only good because you use that thing. No, I'm just gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna use it. I'm still gonna pretty much play either the same way or adapt to this new playstyle, and then gonna wreck you anyways, because fuck you and your opinions, basically. It's more like that thing where it's like, oh, if that's a problem, as long as you're happy, I'm gonna fix your problem for you. Here, I'm gonna own you without using that thing you just said is the only reason I can own you with. there we go. And that's actually how I've adapted a lot of my playstyles in a sense, where it's like people I don't want people to complain about me. I mean, I can wreck them other ways. I can be inefficient and still wreck them. Okay, fair point, right? So that's a bit of the way that I'm thinking, and yeah. Then we've got this is actually my most hated effect. It's like it's just so overused, overrated. It's like burning flames or sunbeams or scorching flames are probably one of the effects where you're like, oh, that guy's switch if you see them. Just that's your first impression or some shit. Or oh, you have a burning flames, and especially if it's a burning flame team captain. So that's kind of why I hate it. It's like, yeah, I like smoking because it's first black, and then it's like not that many people actually use it. It's actually a nice effect. So, and a thing with smoking too is that it kind of amplifies other effects. Like if you see saw on my engineer, like the ancient eldritch, it's at least in game, it's way more clear in a sense. It's like, oh, that actually looks nice. But and then here's the thing, like the 5 classes that I use on each have like some sort of weapon to head combination where it's like, well, both smoking of course and hot look good together in a sense, steaming would too, but also burning flames and hot also look good together. So we have that where it's like burning flames, hot, and then of course this is just on him, so on my engineer too, but also on the classes with this kind of thing for some reason. So yeah. Here we have my ambassador loadout. The whole idea with this is you don't actually need the knife. Like you just stand at a bit of a distance, try to headshot people, and then if they get close, you just deadwing and retreat a bit, and then do it again. And that's the whole point there. Did reset my stats on this. I think I had 4,000 kills or something, but I had a critical kills on it instead of headshot kills, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like if people were gonna complain that, oh, it's not headshot kills, you couldn't afford it or something. And at the time when I got the critical kills, it was because headshot kills was too expensive. But then now I just like, might as well reset and get the headshot kills. It's like more, show off in a sense. Here we've just got my eternal reward. Nothing worth looking at there. It's just eternal reward thing. And here we just have what I consider stock, where it's like, well, what I used to consider stock, where it's like you have the stock things, you have the Deadwing, and then you have a Zapper. And this is more like, this is stock, like Stealth Spy, and this is stock being a bit more aggressive in using the Deadwing as Spy for me. So it's like stock playstyles in a sense. I guess this works a bit more because you're used to see, Ambassador with this or the Diamondback, but I just have this because of course I have the unusual weapon, so I want to keep that going, and of course body cosmetic that also tracks stuff, so that's nice. So here we have my Pyro, and it's actually fun. On Pyro it feels like, and I used to play with the degrees a lot, so my shotgun were pretty much my primary, and it still kind of feels like it. I did reset it because I added Pyro only parts to it, and then the stats would have been messed up, so I just reset it when I decided this thing is only going to be used on my Pyro, and it's something with it looks like this is also a greenish skin, so it's more like the fit, and then I'd rather get a black shotgun skin for my engineer though. So yeah, it's just pretty much stock with then of course upgraded melee where you get the speed. So for me this is kind of the stock Pyro in a sense. And then we've got again this darkness thing going with my smoking items, and we've have, because again as I said, I really like dragons, and if I get the chance I'll be naming, like pointing out the dragon part. So yeah, that's just what I decided here. And then of course the way Pyro acts and stuff, he's a bit more, acting a bit more like an animal than a human in some senses, at least in my opinion. He acts more like instinctual, is what I would say, or you can take that as you want. So I just felt like this was a perfect fit for Pyro with the description too. And then of course we have my stat dragon cosmetic here. Here we have the loadout that I used to use with Pyro, where this is pretty much my primary, and then of course the degreaser, but this was before the degreaser got changed with the extra air blast cost. So I kinda just prefer using my unusual flamethrower over this now. So you can see I used it a lot though, like pretty much. So yeah, I haven't really killed that many people with this, but I mean, Then we have my flank Pyro loadout here. This is just meant for like you reach harder to reach areas with this, and then you backburner him pretty much. Haven't really used this much either. I used to have a backburner with I think at least a bit more kills on it, but then I got this, and this was before you could like transfer stats, so just let like kind of reset it there in that sense by getting a new weapon and selling the old one. So here we got my Pyro loadout, pretty self-explanatory. If you have some troubles or you're defending last or something, the engineer's having problems, you just defend their sentry, simple as that. And this is my sniper loadout. This is just complete stock because that's the way I like to roll sniper, mostly because, you know, unusual weapons. And I tend to either shift this out with the Darwin's Danger Shield or Razorback if needed. But then a lot of the time it's like, then I need the SMG, especially if I go Razorback. Then it's like, okay, now I am aware of the spies, so they aren't gonna be a problem anymore. I may as well go back to the you know, SMD, and then I can kill some scouts and spies to try to take me on. And then I love to use the pan. I want a golden pan at some point. I'm not in a hurry to get it. It's just, if I can get it at some point, I'll get it, and then that's that. It's just, technically I can afford it, but I don't really want to go out and just buy a golden pan. I want to kind of get it by trading some of the stuff that I have, actually putting the stuff that I have to good use in that sense, instead of having a lot of leftover stuff. So just feel like that's the way to go about getting a golden pan with trading. And then of course the SMD is said before here. The name is like the thing is that I used a quote from Sniper where it's like, now that's not something you see every day. And then you can take it as either, oh, you don't see an SMG sniper every day, but you can also take it as the name, because it's called Twister. So it's meant that like it twists the bullets, as in hit registration can be a bit odd sometimes, especially with weapons like this, the heavy minigun and pistol and stuff. So it's meant that it's like, oh, I hit you behind something because the bullet twists, something like that. And then we've got this. I did kind of touch up on my backpack to why the combination with the name and the headband here, but this is my sniper rifle. It's a bit pun like with the name and then the description, so really happy with that. I had a viewer help me name this and gave him a prize. I did some kind of those competitions earlier, but they didn't seem to be that popular, and it was always the same guy who won because he had such a good talent for it, so I just decided to not really do it anymore. Still have a thread open on like the Steam group where you can try and name some stuff if you want, but I'm very picky with that, and there may be prizes if you're very good at it though, and I really like the name and I'm gonna use it, so you know, both a price and that I'll use the name on one of my items and that I'll probably give something. But here we have my sniper head. It's just like the stat track I'm using here. The thing is, I wanted triple effect on sniper as the only class, because first up I wanted the like reorbiting fire, and then I wanted the weapon match, as well as, you know, my spy have a weapon match there, but I don't have the re on him. But the thing is, I think Sniper and Spy are the only classes I could consider running triple effects on, just because it's like Sniper, it's like, yeah, that's a sniper, but with Spy it's like his normal suit is okay, as in he's also usually disguised, but when he's not, you can have that triple effect. So those are the only classes I would actually consider having triple effects on, but with the Spy it's like I do need that stat tracking, and that's a problem to get triple effect with that. Especially since there isn't like any miss that I could use for that situation, so that's mostly the issue there. Then we've got, just in case I'm against a very good sniper, you know, and I know that I'm not the best sniper, and I'll have to admit that, so I'm not afraid to use the Darwin's Danger Shield. I'm not a sniper main, I have nothing against it. I think the negatives outweigh the positives heavily in a certain sense, where you can get easily bumped by a soldier, or just the weakness to splash is just insane technically. But if you have issues with a sniper as your only problem, certainly worth going for and using it, even though it's a bit of a cheap move, because then he can't quickscope you, but you can quickscope him usually. I would most likely stay away from it, even if the sniper is good, and unless the sniper that is good and using the Darwin's Danger Shield, of course, then I would actually just go for it. Be like, well, you started this war, I'm gonna take you up on it. So there is that. Then we've got my Huntsman loadout here, just for Huntsman. It's like, yeah, you can derade them, then fire it, and if they are close, you just get the crit on them. So alternatively, you can switch this out with a cleaner's carbine. Just get that crit there, but that didn't work out for me, and of course it unequips weirdly. And then we've got this. I actually have a Marketer here, but it's like that. Then this came out, but I already had my unusual sniper rifle, so I used it like once, and then I didn't use it, and then I pretty much only used this because you only need the stock on sniper pretty much. So that's that. So this is my heavy loadout. Originally, like my previous minigun, I actually called that Spinda, which is directly a Pokemon that is like very confused, which is just the only difference there. Then I thought Swagger seemed a bit better, but that's just me there. May need to rename it at some point, but I don't know. Then we've got my sandwich here, and then some boxing gloves. This is referring to or well, it's directly what the item is also referring to itself, that it is Skyrim, and I actually played a lot of Skyrim, so I mean this was also the first hat that I got on heavy, so I mean as in a unique one, so I just kind of went back to that. And then we've got this again, running the Of Darkness and Infused with Darkness theme, and then stat tracker here. Then we've got my Australian here called Golden Opportunity, because it's referring to that you can use it to assassinate people with like standing behind something, and when they run past you just shoot them. And then we've got these here where it's like also behind them, and you make them laugh and then you taunt them. Then we've got my Fat Scout loadout here, which is just that this on by default, and then these two for speed and for shotgun. Not that I've considered using it yet, but it's there for a reason, And then we've just got this here where it's like a bit of a mix up for, not that I really use it, but I just think this is funny because you can taunt kill people in the midst of battle with it, so yeah. Then we've got my medic loadout here, crossbow. Just again, this is just a joke again to how Cisco does the stuff with this. Probably need to rename and redescribe it at some point for sure. And then we've got my Ubersaw here, and it actually named this when I got it, and then I just took a medic quote and slapped onto it. Thought it was very fitting, and this is actually one of one. The other one got removed by like somebody being VAC banned, and then it just got deleted from the game or something. I don't know. Just pretty lucky to actually have gotten this via the community market at some point. I thought there was only one, but then suddenly it turns out, oh yeah, way back in the history there were two, and the other one was, the one I was looking at was VAC banned, and then of course there was this one. Then we've then there's also like Beak here again, running the Of Darkness thing, so yeah. And my stat tracker for just code. This is meant for combat medic, may switch out this with a pan if needed, just for the faster attack speed, but yeah, or this out with the stock. Kinda hoping to get an unusual syringe gun at some point that I can use in this instead, but yeah. Then we've got just Crit Creek and Quick Fix here with the Amputator, so just having some variety there. This is my Scout loadout, completely stock of course with the other skins in a sense, but it's still, completely stock. Bat Saber, unusual pistol, unusual scattergun, so yeah. Then this, it's like, the thing with Scout is that for some reason I kinda liked him not having a hat, and this just seemed fitting. It's kind of like you don't really care about your hairstyle, and that's the kind of thing that I also have, like when you have it laid down like this, that you don't really care about your hairstyle in a sense, and kind of reminds me a bit of my own hairstyle. Not really, but there's a bit of it in there, so that's why I went for this. Could have also gone for a ball cap or something, I don't know, but this was just the one that I felt like I would want the most, and therefore I got it. Then of course again with the darkness thing going on, and then like all other like smoking items, and then got the stat tracker here. Yeah, we just got for the max jump, and then of course just Force of Nature. I actually used to only use the Force of Nature back when I started with Scout, but I also sucked at Scout, and I think it was my most hated class by, as in what you play back then. But I think I've since gotten okay with him. I still have issues with the double jump, but this is just in case you need the mobility either for fooling around or who knows. Then we've got my max healing loadout here, just, you know, stock main weapon and then 2 things that heal you up. Even though you are weak to explosive, you can still double jump them, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then this is just, again, just very, I think, gimmicky. You push people out of ledges or into pits, and then you have this for like the cleaver ball combo thing. But you know, just there for in case I would need it or something. Just again, a very just for fun loadout. Okay, so this is Demoman, just completely stock. Stock is the best you can run on Demoman. Like, unless the enemy are running maybe Demomans and soldiers with medics on, then you may want to go Demonite just for the blast resistance and then take out their medics and maybe do something then, I don't know. Just suggesting that, but just in general, this is the best loadout you can use with a Demoman in terms of just, you know, if you have the same team as the enemy team, as in per class, so... If you have like 12 Demomans with this, you're good to go pretty much. Just start spawn gambling, may as well do that, I don't know. So I actually have strong opinions about this. This can't be nerfed enough for me. It's like, sometimes you just want to see something burn, you know. Sometimes you just, this is one of these times where this is actually my most hated weapon in the entire game, because it's pretty much a better rocket launcher. I know it works a bit differently, but the thing is, you can use it even like on stuff you can't see, and it, like, skill wise, this have a higher skill ceiling than the rocket launcher in terms of you can use it in several ways, and if you master it, you're just the utmost cancer. It's like so crazy how stupidly broken it is, and that's my opinion on it. The fact that it can also crit, again, is just mind-blowing. I mean, if I were in charge, I would make so for at least pop fun use, all splash weapons wouldn't be able to crit. Just would make pops way more enjoyable. No more stupid one shot on by splash damage, of course. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. That's why I called it like a disease, because it is like a disease and it spreads. It's like you see somebody kills you with like sticky spamming. They may be going sticky spamming and giving you it back. It's like spreading like a disease in that sense. And then this, I'm actually okay with this, and it's a Left 4 Dead joke a bit, where it's like grabbing some pills or something. One of my friends used to do that joke all the time, and then for some reason it have sticked around, and then I just decided, why not do this on one of my weapons? I mean, this is the best suited for that, and then of course may switch that out with a golden pen at some point. We've got this referring to my isotope weapons, of course, and just green energy with smoke actually looks pretty decent together, and again, running this where it's like, this is one of the classes I'm running this on, where it's like having the weapon plus head thing as well on top of it, and then my stat tracker here. Then the whole idea with this loadout is you plant down a lot of sticky bombs, and then you backpedal while kiting enemies, and then you push them back into your stickies and detonate it. Here's my Demonite loadout, alternatively switching these out with boots, but this is actually viable, and as said, if you're against like heavy soldier demo loadout, you may consider going this instead of sticky spamming and just taking them out, because it actually works very well. So yeah, that's that. But I mean, you could also go sticky bomb launcher with boots, or be very cheesy, like just go out, get some hits, have the sticky bomb launcher, have boots. You're gonna be 235 HP demo, gonna move fast because of this, not because of boots, because you need to have shield on for the movement speed to work, but you'll still be very fast if you can manage to get those like, what is it? It's not 5 hits, it's 4 hits, isn't it? Yeah, you're gonna have 235 HP, you're just gonna be absolute cancer, you're gonna have movement speed, you're gonna be sticky spamming, you aren't gonna have the downside of having 2 primary, you have to reload, that's usually Demoman's weakness. So you're just gonna be very tanky, very fast, and basically a way better soldier. It's like, what the fuck, how is that even okay? Like, if you... I think that's the thing they need to do, where if like you switch something out of your like, if you switch out the shield or something, the heads reset or something, I don't know. If you switch out some weapons, the like Islander resets. I think they need to do that to fix that situation, but that's me. I haven't really used this, but it's here for a reason. I mean, may use it for something, I don't know. I've used it like once just for fun, testing it out way back. So, like when these became strangers first, I just wanted to test out how they worked. But I think I prefer the stock mostly because unusual effect. Like that just beats so many things though. But this, I think this may actually be even more cancer than the stock one. I'm not sure about my statement there, but this is one of these situations where, why is this weapon okay? I mean, again, I haven't tried it out much myself. I know the stock is very cancerous, but it's maybe worse. I haven't tested it, as I said, but my theory on it is that it could very well be. And last we have the soldier here. Again, head thingy effect fits together in a sense, and then of course this, just because that's the 5 classes I have it on. My engineer, where it's like ancient eldritch, different effect from a reorbiting fire only. My sniper, where still having a reorbiting fire, but I have the time warp to go with the energy orb, and then Demoman with the isotope. It's just feeling that it's quite nice that it's like on just those classes that I end up using this. I would use probably, like, the thing is, polar pullover just look pretty good with spy with the nano balaclava, but I mean I could also, I think, use my the party phantoms, but the reason why I choose to just go for this is, first, it have the Halloween effects on it, but secondly, it would also go well with this, where it's like all my classes who have different effect in a sense have this on as well. So gave it the name for a reason. Like, this is not my most hated weapon. The sticky bomb launcher uncontestedly is, but of course the reason why I hate Soldier more than Demoman is Soldier doesn't have an actual counter. And I know what some people may be thinking, oh, Pyro can counter a Soldier. Yeah, if the Soldier is worse than you, and you are very good Pyro and know how to reflect perfectly, or just okay reflector, then yes, you can deal with him. But if the Soldier is very good, he can either use a shotgun against you, itemize, you have various items, you can even use an airstrike. I mean, oh yeah, you can air blast one of them, maybe 2, but you can't air blast 6 more. It's like, have fun with that, Pyro, have fun with that. It's just, that's the thing with Soldier. You have so many rocket launchers for all kinds of purposes. Are you having problem with the heavy? Go Beggar's Bazooka. You can just take him out instantly. You literally obliterate him off the face of the earth. I don't even know. Soldier is a very versatile class, can itemize for pretty much any situation. He doesn't have a counter, which is completely absurd in a class-based shooter, and that's why I hate Soldier. Demoman, at least, even though he's actually better than the Soldier, at least, as in strength-wise, at least you can counter him by playing Scout and be good at Scout. Of course you need a certain amount of skill, but at least he have that counter. I mean, at least. It's not like it's completely broken, it's not like he doesn't have a counter at all. That's the thing there. I would love to actually see Pyro be better against soldiers. I don't know how exactly. Could like increase air blast, like in a sense where it's like, the thing with soldiers, well, is, oh, he just air blast, I can fire a rocket. The thing is, either some sense where it's like, either the delay between air blasts could be lowered so you could fire off more air blasts, but of course you would chew down your ammo faster as a result, but you would still be able to reflect in case you flinch and he isn't right up in your face. Anyways, there are several ways they could do it. They could also give Pyro some kind of innate blast resistance. I don't know. It's just an example. I just wanted to see Pyro be able to actually just be like, oh, okay, this soldier's a problem. I can go Pyro and deal with him. Unless you have the airstrike, of course, because then he itemized for me. But maybe if you had that thing, or your air blast just lasts longer, maybe you can use one air blast and then it'll last maybe a bit longer, and then it would maybe take 3 rockets instead of 1 to 2, and then give you a bit of, so you can run away from the barrage. Or well, since it's gonna go above your head, most likely you would just air blast those and then run forward to dodge his barrage. I don't know. Again, I just think Soldier needs to be able to be countered by somebody like Pyro at some point. Hope maybe with the Pyro update, maybe Pyro gets some weapons where it's just like, yeah, rip Soldier. I hope to see that though. Or, I mean, that's just my opinion. Soldier and Demo are also some of the better classes. I know Scout too, but that's why they're used in 6s as well. And it's not because they're too strong in that sense. It's just a lot of the other classes aren't giving the things that they should, or aren't strong enough to consider in that sense. And again, I would like to see that being changed soon, or eventually. I mean, it's Valve time. But this is my soldier loadout, and escape plan. Like, this is just full mobility, because that's the best way to play soldier. Of course, you may have to itemize away from it. Again, if you're having problems with a pyro, you may want to go shotgun or something else, who knows. You may want to go a banner maybe. Again, if you aren't rocket jumping that much, I'm not actually rocket jumping that much in combat wise. I may actually be able to consider using the Conqueror instead, because that would actually be very good for me, I guess. So I should really consider switching out every now and then with those, but this is just max mobility soldier. You can always rocket jump, and if you can't, you just have the escape plan to move fast, so you're always fast soldier, removing his only weakness, in a sense where it's like, his weakness is that he's slow, but he's not, because you can rocket jump and you have the escape plan as an example. Here we have my airstrike loadout, where it's like, yeah, you can easily see what's gonna go on. Using the parachute for the market garden, because I'm not that good at market garden, but I can do it with the parachute. And then we of course have the airstrike, because I actually think airstrike is a fun weapon. It's just stupid. It can take out a sentry, like even a rankled sentry. If you have 8 launched into it, it just takes it out. And a pyro can't air blast it, so again, bit silly there. This is probably, if I ever have one of those days where I'm like, you know what, fuck you, just bad day, fuck everybody, you know what, everything just die. It's like, people who get killed by me are gonna see that I use this kind of loadout, maybe with another banner, but this is just for overkill, and they're gonna be like, who hurt you as a child? As in, I must have been really hurt when I was a child to be able to do this shit and just tear them apart. I mean, gotta be some angry dude for that, I guess. I don't know. But that's my opinion on using the beggars in that sense. It's like, yeah, 300 damage instantly, because first up you have to be close to actually fully utilize this. And then you can load 3 rockets, so that's like 300 damage because you are close. So yeah, that seems fair. That seems like a fair and balanced weapon. Very nice idea. Of course, I'm overreacting a bit here, but it's still very, very strong, and it shouldn't be that strong. Then here we've just got for the shotgun, in a sense. This is my way of like stock soldier, where you have the 2 stock weapons, and then this is kind of an upgrade just for the stock, you know, shovel, in my opinion. So yeah, and it technically is. I mean, not like it actually have any downsides other than the healing thing, but I mean, when you drag out the melee weapon, it's either to run with the soldier, of course, or you want a melee fight, and then I think this is just overall better, because you always have the rocket launcher, which presumably does more damage if you're up melee, so, you know. I think that's it. That should be all my loadouts, all my current thoughts on it, and for 2017, and yeah, hope everybody enjoyed it, and I'll see you again next time.